What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. We've got something super cool for you guys today. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. We've got a 2 versus 2. We were on Loremaster Sotek's stream, and so we've got DahvPlays and Loremaster Sotek against me and JonTaun from Total Warhammer. So me and JonTaun are using the forces of chaos. You'll see here we've got the Beastmen and the Chaos Hordes, and we are facing off against the Undead team. We've got the vampires over here as well as the TombKings. And so right off the bat, you'll see it's a pretty long game, but this is just so good. I mean, JonTaun and Dav and Sotek, they're all just such great players that it was really a good time to play with them all. So if you looked at me and John, kind of split our armies. Over here on the right side, we've got some, we've just got 2 groups of Gore Herd over here, and we've got some Ungor Spearmen as well. We've also got 2 groups of Chaos Hounds with poison, as well as 2 groups of Centigors with great weapons. And I was really planning on trying to get those units kind of in the back and see if they can do some cycle charging from behind and maybe use the Centigors to hogfully take out maybe some Ushopti or something. Here on our front line, you see we've got Kholek, Sun Eater. So huge there, that Dragon Ogre. We've also got Chosen with Halberds, and so JonTaun has brought a ton of Chosen with Halberds. I think he knew that they were going to have a hard time getting through that massive defense that they're going to have. He's also got some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Let's go ahead and pause this before they smash in the front there. I mean, you know, we're actually getting pretty close to the beginning. So we've got a couple groups of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, as well as a bunch of Chosen with Halberds. I mean, there's 3 groups there, and that is just going to be definitely a little bit difficult. And it'll help deal with those big units. Maybe you know, if they bring any Terrorgeists or of course any constructs from the TombKings. John's also got a Marauder Horseman here with throwing axes, as well as in the back he's got a second Dragon Ogre Shagga. So this one's not as big as Kholek, but he is a big boy, and he'll get in there and do some battle. Over here on the left flank, we've got 2 groups of Ungor Raiders with, you know, just their cheap missile infantry. We've also got a little bit of Gore Herd and Ungor Spearmen here, and then we do have 2 groups of the armor-piercing Bestigor Herd. I've also got Kazrak the One Eye, and I've got him on his chariot there. So you see he's got his, you know, he's got a good amount of damage. He's got armor piercing if you put him on the chariot, and so he's also anti-infantry. So I should be able to kind of ride through these skeleton lines. Here in the back, last but not least, we do have a group of Minotaurs with shields, and they are just so awesome. With 110 weapon strength and armor piercing, I figured I would hopefully be able to get them in there. Even though they don't have an anti-large bonus, I was hoping I'd be able to get in there and just have them smash down the any, you know, big units, even Ushopti or something like that. All right, over here for the opposing team, let's do the vampires first. They do have up here, they've got a Terrorgeist. So you can see him, he's all sinews and bone there. I mean, so awesome. Look at those teeth and the burning eye. And that is just a big unit. Here in the front, you'll see they've got a ton of zombies. They've also got the Tithe, which has a, you know, 30 extra units, and they've got that right there in the front line to kind of try to, I guess, take fire. Here in the back, they've got some skeleton spearmen bringing up the rear, and in the middle they have a bunch of Graveguard with great weapons, as well as the Sternman Regiment of Renown. With their regeneration, they're super hard to kill. Okay, here in the middle, you see they do have Heinrich Kemmler, and you can see him down there. He's not always, I mean, he's not my favorite, but he'll definitely do some damage. And behind him there, he does have a White King up there on a steed. So he's really fast with 72. And on the right here, those corpse cart with the unholy lodestone, those cheaper corpse carts are making an appearance now, as well as this mortis engine here. And it looks like it has 1 chevron. Trying to quest for even gold there. Over here on the flank, he's got a Necro Sphinx, as well as 2 groups of skeleton spearmen. And on the other flank, he's got the same thing. 2 groups of skeleton spearmen and a Necro Sphinx. This is the Regiment of Renown, the Sphinx of Usak. And it is very strong. And that thing can do some major work. You can see he's also got the Chosen of the Gods, that Regiment of Renown Ushopti with that armor sundering, armor piercing, shield breaker. I mean, they're massive. I mean, they don't have armor sundering, they have shield breaker. And their bows actually split into pieces in the air. It's pretty cool. He's also got this group of Ushopti great bows, so that big armor piercing. He hopefully should be able to smash through a lot of our stuff. You know, definitely be able to do some damage to Kholek or the Dragon Ogre in there. And Besides those two groups of great bows, he's also got a necrotect here. So I typically always try to keep my necrotect in next to my constructs, but I think he's trying to get it here so he can heal whichever unit needs to get healed. And in the back, he's got a Tomb Prince right next to Arkan the Black, and that just makes them so strong. I mean, Arkan with Guardian, as well as, you know, all of his other abilities, with the Tomb Blade, you know, healing. I mean, this is just tons and tons of healing, tons of magic. I mean, he should be able to just spirit leech things down really quickly. But overall, I mean, you see just tons of constructs, good big monsters, and luckily for us, the JonTaun's brought these chosen with halberds, so we'll just have to see how they go. Right here in the front, you'll see that Kholek is already starting to take some shots, and JonTaun's immediately going to see those Ushabti great bows raining in there, and he's going to pull out and move them away. He does not want to take too much damage there. And if he can, he's hopefully going to be getting in there and you know, taking out. It looks like he's sending him right after that Mortis engine. If we take a look at the top, I mean, you can see there's like 1,400, 1,500 units on our side, and there's almost 2,000 on the opponent's side. Let's go ahead and see here. We're going to see that everyone join. Oh man, there's a big old smash. We're going to go ahead and these Chaos Warriors and these Goreherd, they're going to cut these skeletons to pieces. Here in the front though, Kholek's taking a pretty good hit, and you did see there that we had a pendulum that barely hit anything. I mean, we were trying to get some of those Graveguard. It did do a little damage, but it didn't do quite as much as it could have. Over here on the left flank, you'll see that my Ungor Spearmen and all of my Bestigors are kind of going to get engaged here. They're going to these Spearmen will pretty much trade evenly with my Ungor Spearmen, except for my Ungor Spearmen I think have 2 chevrons, so they may be able to hold their own. Here in the back, we've gotten the Goreherd. We're trying to get him into the Chosen of the Gods. You'll see that we've got another group of Chaos Poison Warhounds charging into the Chosen of the Gods, and pretty much everything is engaged there in the middle. We'll see JonTaun is sending his throwing axes over to chase this Terror guys. Here in the back, I had gotten some Poison Warhounds and Centigors on top of these Ushabti, or on top of this Necro Sphinx back here, but he's also got the Necrotect back there, and you see there the Fate of Buna lands on those Centigors with great weapons, and that's just pretty much going to kill him and take him off the field. Here in the middle though, you'll see that these Ungor Raiders are firing down. You'll see that we got some pretty good damage coming, and we're also going to get a good pendulum coming through here. It'll do some pretty good damage to those Graveguard in that line there. We also got a few of these Graveguard, and you'll see here in the back that JonTaun is using those throwing axes right now and trying to take out those Ushabti great bows. I think those great bows are actually doing more damage to the horsemen though. It doesn't look like it's working, so we're going to have to try to figure something else out. We've got a huge Wither going down here. And with Kholek in the back and with this Dragon Ogre here, that Wither is going to just make Heinrich Himmler with 0 armor. He's going to be so susceptible. Look at that huge knock. But that actually is going to protect him because he's not going to be able to take any damage. Here over on the left flank, you'll see those skeletons are still fighting. And we have the Sphinx of Usek surrounded here with the Chaos Warriors with halberds. Oh my god, that was that huge AoE attack. But these halberds are going to get in there and they'll do some major work on that Regiment of Renown. You'll see here that some of those bows are starting to fire in at this Mortis engine, and I noticed that it was in there. We're going to try to go ahead and get these Minotaurs in there, and we did not want that Mortis engine dragging the hit points and helping out for too much longer. So you see the Ungor Raiders continuing to fire in, and that Mortis engine is pretty much going to go down immediately. Here in the front line, you see a lot of those Graveguard are starting to crumble, and so we're actually but keeping it dead even, because a lot of my Centigors and my you see over here, I mean, they took Fate of Bunas, they took major damage, and they just were not able to get in and do the damage I'd hoped. These Marauder Horsemen are also routing off, so a lot of our cavalry unit have been underperforming. Here in the back, you'll see here that these Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes are kind of just chilling out, gathering some vigor, and we're just going to continue trying to take down these huge units now. So we've gotten a lot of the Vampire. Me and JonTaun have gotten a lot of those Vampire units down. There's not too much frontline units. You'll see in the sides we've kind of got some units that are coming back from routing. These Skeleton Spearmen, they shouldn't be too hard to chase down. But in the back, these Chosen of the Gods and these Ushabti Great Bows are just proving impossible. I mean, the sheer amount 100 armor makes it so that these Chaos Poison Warhounds really aren't able to do much against them, even though they're a lot more numerous. And here in the front line, you'll see that the Fear and Terror is actually routing off my Bestigor herd and my Minotaurs as well. At this point, it's all up to you know, those chaos units. You see here, there's a big fat battle going on. Let's see if you can see it. We've got Kholek in here. We've got the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and I mean, we've also got all the Terror Guys. Everything is just fighting it out. The Terror Guys is super low, but Kholek is even lower. And this this summoned Krell, sorry, the White King himself actually is in here fighting up against Kholek as well. So that is a pretty good battle going on there. I think Kholek actually is about to break. You see him just smashing units, doing major damage. Both of those Shaggoths there, just in a group, and you'll see some of those throwing axes are going to throw in as well. Here in the back, though, you see Kazrak is actually, I smashed him into those Ushabti Great Bows, but let's see if we can get a better view of the whole fight here. The Necrosphinx there in the back is going to really do major damage on Kazrak. You see that? That was just a terrible move on my part. I kept thinking that we could take out these Great Bows, and pretty much all I did was get Kazrak just reamed. But at the same time, JonTaun's bringing in some of his halberds over here. He's got some Chaos Warriors Great Weapons coming in there, and they should be able to deal with these units in the back pretty well. You see Arkan the Black is kind of off on his own. He doesn't have his TombKing with him anymore, and so that is actually, until the TombKing gets a little closer, he's going to have some hard time. You see here that all these skeleton spearmen are healing, but here in the mainline battle, I mean, the chosen with halberds and the, you know, supporting from the Bestigors and the Ungor Raiders there, all that supporting, it actually is starting to really bring down these units. This Sphinx of Sotek, he's been fighting here in the battle for a long time. You'll see here that he's in here. I mean, you see Kholek's dead right there. You can see the body. I mean, there's just dead bodies everywhere. But at the same time, there it goes. Oh, you see it land and send a ton of bodies flying. You see this Necrosphinx here, it's got Undeath Resurgent on it. But at that point, Heinrich Kemmler, look at this. He's just taking massive amounts of shots from those Ungor Raiders. You see another, there we go. He's down to 350 health, 310 health. You see just arrows landing all around him. And at this point, just pretty much anything will take him out, I think. So you see here in the back, the Necrotech is still doing okay. This chosen with halberds are going to try to get engaged into these Ushabti Great Bows, and those things are just beasts. You see Kazrak here is kind of charged into the Skeleton Spearman. He's going to get a few more kills there, but at this point, I think this Necrotech is going to get in there and take him right out. I'm trying to get in there and get Heinrich Kemmler. You see, we're going to go ahead and charge him down. We're able to take him out, but only 300 health remaining on Kazrak too. You'll see here in the back flank that Arkan the Black is using pretty much everything. Staff into Gash, he's using all his abilities, Tombblade, but at the same time, these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, over time, there's so many of them still, and with their armor piercing, they're going to cut him down pretty easily. If you take a look, the balance of power is pretty much in our favor. We've got a bunch of our Beastmen units coming back into the fight. You see we've got these Chosen of the Gods over here tied up by some Chaos Poison Warhounds, and while the Chaos Poison Warhounds will for sure lose to these, because you'll see them coming in here and they'll kill a hound with each shot, but at the same time, it's really keeping them from firing in. And at this point, it is just any man's game. I mean, it's still not over. We've got the Minotaurs charging back out, but at this point the Necrotech is surrounded. These Ushabti summon are in here, but they're almost taken down immediately. And those Chosen with halberds mixed in with those Chaos Great War with weapons are still just cutting things to pieces. I mean, they were just so hard to kill. You see we've got some Centigors with great weapons coming back finally from route. They're charging in there. We've got this Necrotech surrounded, so he's going to start crumbling. The Ushabti Great Bows here in the back are crumbling. And at this point, it's really just these Chosen of the Gods and Arkan the Black that are remaining. You can see here only 11 troops remaining, so we'll go ahead and let's see if we can't see these Ungor Spearmen are going to get in here. And I think with that and those Ungor Raiders shooting in there, I think that's finally going to be what breaks the back of these Chosen of the Gods. Although these Ungor Spearmen are probably not going to be able to do much damage left, Arkan the Black gets surrounded over here. They're taking a bunch of damage, and I mean, this is pretty much it. It was just such a great game. So much fun to see those Chaos Hordes against the Undead Hordes. It was just, it was such a fun battle. Oh man, I was so lucky I got to play with all those great guys. You know, let me know if there's any specific YouTubers you guys would like to see play, or if, you know, you want to see me challenge anyone. I'd be more than happy. You know, I do get on with a lot of these guys a lot of the time. I've got a Blood Bowl 2 league going, which a bunch of the YouTubers are in too, that I'm going to start putting up on the channel. And so, let me know if you guys like what you're seeing, if you guys have anything you'd like to see. I really would be happy to do any requests. If you guys want me to start streaming or something, let me know. If we take a look at this post-battle wrap-up, you'll see here JonTaun with a ton of kills. He took only 236 losses because he only deployed about 400 troops, but 134 on Kholek, these Chaos Warriors, 100 each, 232 on this group of Chosen with Halberds. I mean, all of these units just did really well and were super strong. This unit of Halberds ranked up 3 times, so that was just massive. The Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows, 29 kills. There was just, look at that. We go ahead and take a look at my army. You'll see here that my cavalry units, my Centigors with great weapons, as well as my Chaos Poison Warhounds, really didn't do as much as I had hoped. This group of Centigors was able to get in and do some killing in the main line, luckily for me. But other than that, these guys were just not worth it. These Chaos Poison Warhounds are not able to fight Ushabti, so I should have really just been using them to poison and take down frontline units, maybe Graveguard. We did use them a little bit for that, but not as much as we could have. You see Kazrak on his chariot got 100 kills, and that's what I was doing. That's why we were able to kind of get through that vampire army pretty quickly, as we did have a lot of abilities used to that would clear the chaff there. Minotaurs with only 55, but they were beating on some big targets and they were having a lot of fun. And just overall, a couple of those pendulums came through pretty well. 34 kills with the Bray Shaman. And he was just on foot, so he was pretty cheap. And, I think we were able to, a couple of those withers and things, I think they were really able to help turn the tide. We take a look at DahvPlays TombKing's army. You'll see here, Archon the Black, 43 kills. But the main thing here, these guys were staying alive. These guys were healing. The main thing here, 155 kills on this, chosen of the gods, the Ushabti Great Bows. Another 55 here. These guys were just massive, doing massive damage. Besides that, these 2 Necrosphinx, they were doing pretty good work as well. I think a lot of the problem was there wasn't as many units for Dav to kill. JonTaun just brought so few units. A lot of them were mobile, and these ones that weren't were just high defense. So Dav, he did get a couple hundred kills just on those ranged units. But overall, those Skeleton Spearmen didn't die, I don't think, quickly enough for him to get his Ushabti summon in quite as quickly as he would have liked. Besides that, you see Loremaster of Sotek with those zombies up in front. Those things were just cleared out immediately. We were sitting heavy. You see, even the Ungor Spearmen, the Gore Herd, all those units were just able to clear out those chaff units, those zombies and Skeleton Spearmen, and you see they didn't really get any kills. So that was, I'm sure their front line, they were planning on this tying us up for a lot longer. But since they weren't able to, we were able to get in the back ranks and kill those things like those Corpse Cart and Mortis Engine. You saw we were firing those Ungor Raiders at the Mortis Engine, took it down super quick together with the Minotaurs. And JonTaun took that other Corpse Cart out, no problem. You saw we did have some spells land on these Graveguard as well as some Wither to take away their armor. And it was really just difficult. Kemler was in there. He was taking heavy work. And Loremaster of Sotek really just, he really took the brunt of both of our combined attacks there. We moved in sync. We were able to take out that front line quickly. And it was just a back and forth battle at the beginning. But once he started going down, once he lost a lot of this infantry and some, I think that was definitely, he was hoping for that Mortis Engine effect. Either way, it was a great game. I was happy to play with all these, really good players. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Please subscribe for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's battles.